Vine star Adam Perkins has passed away. Jeffree Star has been publicly accused of groping an underage boy. Jake Paul has denied an accusation of sexual assault. And it's the return, for the very first time, of the annual YouTuber News Host Roast, where I brutally roast the YouTube community, all to raise awareness. What are we raising awareness for? The many issues and the charities. On this week's edition of YouTuber News, hosted by me, Benedict Bridgerton, and brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website that's recommended by 10 out of 10 dentists. Beat that, Colgate freaks. Our first story, and a sad bit of news to begin the show, Adam Perkins, the famous Vine star, has sadly died at the age of 24. You may know Adam from his ultra-viral "Hi, welcome to Chili's" Vine, among many others. The passing was confirmed by Adam's twin, Patrick Perkins, who stated on Instagram that his brother died on the 11th of April. He said, quote, "I can't even really put into words what this loss means for me. I'm often asked the question, what's it like to be a twin? And my response is usually, what's it like not to be a twin? Being a twin is a very central part of my identity. It's all I've known, and I'm struggling to find the words to explain what it's like for me to live in this world without him, my best friend." No cause of death has been revealed as of yet, but Patrick said that his brother's life was, quote, "tragically cut short." Obviously here at YouTuber News, we give all our love and sympathy to Adam's family and to all his friends and fans around the world. And now, before we move on to the next story, it's time for the famous YouTuber News host roast. Is this thing on? I know a lot of you have been really waiting for this one, even though it is the first time we're doing it. But I know I have a microphone there, but I'm holding one here as well. Now, we were going to have loads of YouTubers in this, but almost all of them are now criminals of some kind. So we're going to have to go with people who aren't actively in the midst of some kind of police investigation, which is still pretty hard, but that's how low the bar is now. So first up in the roast, Tanner Mojo. Hey, everyone has their pros and cons, but Tanner, when it comes to cons, you're no pro. It's a TannerCon joke. Is this thing on? And stick around later in the show for more roasts. What is it, Sunday? I didn't even remember ordering this roast. Our second story, Jeffree Star has been publicly accused of groping an underage boy. A TikTok user named Drake Cherry, cool name, has accused Jeffree Star of groping him at a music festival when he was underage. Cherry was underage, not Jeffree. Cherry alleges that Jeffree Star walked up to him at a concert in California, it was an all-ages concert, and, quote, grabbed his arms. He said, quote, "In between one of the bands, I went outside to have a cigarette, and then I bent over to tie my shoe, and someone grabbed my ass. Someone grabbed my ass. It was like a grab, not a tap. I immediately popped up, and you're never going to guess who it was. Jeffree Star grabbed my ass." Now, someone in the comments asked Drake whether he thinks Jeffree is a genuinely bad person, or if that was just some crazy mistake, or if he's just like a good person who's made a couple mistakes or whatever. And to that, Drake said, quote, "The amount of allegations that have come out against him speak for themselves. I also think that the allegations that I've heard from my own friends speak for themselves." So, all in all, he thinks he's a bad person. And I don't want to diminish the seriousness of this in any way, but Drake Cherry really is the coolest name I've heard in a long time. It feels like it should be Detective Drake Cherry. And the chief's like, "Damn it, Cherry! You gotta stick to the book or I'll take your badge and your gun." And Cherry's like, "But you know I get results." What's this voice? "Here's the thing, Chief. You'll let me do exactly what I want because you know that I get results." I've got to write this down. All right, before we move on to the next story, it's time for the continuation of the old host roast. Let me just get my microphone. You ever notice in movies or TV shows, whenever anyone picks up a microphone, it always has like a huge amount of feedback the second they hold it to their lips. So, who have we got next? No, they've been cancelled. Okay, what about this one? Oh, no, I think they're actually in prison. Dan Howell, that's not a real YouTuber. Who made this list? Well, I'm being told there's no one left that we can legally roast. So I guess I'll just roast the one YouTuber left in the world who speaks for truth and justice. And that's me. Hey, Benedict, the ugly store called... This hits harder than I expected. Hey, the ugly store called... What did they say? They said they wanted you to go back there. And why is that? No. Our third story. Jake Paul has denied he committed sexual assault after TikToker Justine Paradise alleged she'd been attacked by the star. Now, we covered this allegation on a previous episode of the show, so make sure to watch that if you want the full details, but in brief, Paradise alleges that she was kissing Jake and she told him she didn't want to take things any further, and she says he deliberately ignored her and continued to act. Now, responding on Twitter, Jake has labelled the allegations, quote, 100% false, and in a typically bizarre and self-centered fashion has suggested that the allegations only came about as a way to distract from his upcoming boxing match against some guy. Yes, this is the only rape denial statement I've ever seen that manages to actively promote a boxing match while it deals with the accusations. Tasteful as always, Jake. In the statement, Jake says, quote, sexual assault accusations aren't something that I or anyone should ever take lightly, but to be crystal clear, this claim made against me is 100% false. Not only have I never had a sexual relationship with this individual, but this claim is a solely manufactured accusation and a blatant attempt for attention during a highly visible fight week. What is it with all the fight stuff? Not everything is about novelty boxing matches. Most things aren't. He goes on to say, there are irreparable damages from these types of accusations, and more importantly, false allegations of this nature diminish those who have been truly victims of misconduct. That's so kind of you to say. I respect women and mothers more than anything. I most certainly have never laid a finger on a girl without their consent. So there we go, a comprehensive statement from Jake's lawyers there. Oh, sorry, I meant a heartfelt personal statement from the top of his dome. Also, and again, I don't want to diminish the seriousness of this, Justine Paradise. Incredible detective name. Can you imagine if Justine Paradise and Drake Cherry teamed up to solve mysteries? And the show would be called Cherry Paradise? And I guess Drake Cherry... No. Justine Paradise would be played by Drake, and Drake Cherry would be played by... I don't know, Justine? Hit me up, because I will write a script for this. Hey, Suki. I'm just telling them about a TV show I'm working on. Do you want to be in it? Meow. Suki will be the chief. Someone's being very cute in front of the camera, aren't they? Someone knows they're on camera. Yeah, scratch the tummy, you get bitten. All right, now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the thing with the comments. Last week I asked you a question, and it seems like absolutely none of you answered it, so that's fine. We'll just read some random comments. Julia says, quote, this show is slowly turning into Benedict's descension into madness, and I'm honestly here for it. First of all, slowly. Anomaly says, I appreciate the hummingbird facts. Much better than Shane Dawson facts, I have to agree there. Alina Moss says, Amber, please make Benedict read this. It's called Ode to My Favourite Lady Who Laughs. Amber Bobamba, Banana Fana Fofamba, Mime Momamba, Amber. A beautiful sentiment. This has been the comment section. For next week, I'd like you to suggest some people, that's Amber going, cool. And for next week, I'd like you to suggest some people that I can roast in the YouTuber News Host Roast. And they need to be, I cannot stress this enough, people who have not been cancelled, or people who will probably not be cancelled on the horizon. Use your judgment here. I can't have an episode where I'm like, hey, Bobby Dazzler, he's like the best YouTuber there is. And the next week it's like, Bobby Dazzler has killed 1 million people, and I'm there like, ugh. And with that, we come to the end of the show. I'm Benedict Townsend, this is Suki Townsend, and this has been YouTuber News, which airs every week on the YouTuber News YouTube channel, and also on Snapchat Discover. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, either by hitting subscribe, you stay away from that rat, my love, or by swiping up on the last snap of this story. It's just a rat. You can be friends, don't worry. She's biting the rat, it was gonna happen eventually. Oh no.